Don't be a flake. Don't run away from your feelings, babe. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Don't hesitate to say, hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe.
Hey, babe, I love you so. And I want you to know that I'm gonna miss your love the minute you walk out that door. Please don't go.
Hey, babe. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So, Steve Cohen.
Yes.
The Mets.
Okay.
I get a gig.
Yes.
Okay.
You told me about this
Yes.
when you happened like a week ago, and I told you, don't tell me a word. You got to tell me on the podcast for the first time.
I bombed. So, like, I'm talking
in
about
front of the owner of the Mets. The owner of the Mets hired you to do a private show.
the owner of the Mets and also Tommy Mottola, the big music industry exec, Mariah Carey's ex-husband. Okay.
Is there? Tommy Mottola. That's a song.
Tommy Mottola.
Okay.
So first of all, by the way, I started off by my name. I said Tommy Mottola. I thought that it was Motorola. I was like, I used to have your cell phone as a kid. He said it's Motorola. And I said, okay. So
so you tried to do a bespoke joke for Tommy Mottola.
So I'm fast forwarding a little bit. Let me start up.
Set the scene completely.
It's at this restaurant in the city, which was a beautiful restaurant.
He's the owner of the Mets.
He owns the New York
Metropolitans.
Metropolitans.
Okay.
Billionaire. The show Billions was created after his life. Our good friend Dan Soder.
Shout out Dan Soder.
Shout out Dan Soder.
Maffei. I haven't seen Billions. I think his name is.
it.
Everyone yells at him. Maffei.
Maffei.
Love Dan Soder. Follow Dan Soder.
Shout out Dan Soder. So Billions.
Son of Gary. HBO special. Go.
Based off. Great special. Based off Steve Cohen's life. So big money. Great guy, Steve Cohen. Let me tell you something. Getting to meet this guy, great guy. I love that. This guy's a great guy.
It's based off his life?
Based off his life. So how I got the gig was, his wife is Puerto Rican. I do jokes.
She's Puerto.
Okay. I do jokes about, Puerto Rican women in my life because I have Puerto Rican children, Puerto Rican girlfriend.
Your Puerto Rican friends.
You're Puerto Rican? Well, but it's Cuban now. Aren't you Cuban?
More Puerto.
Yeah.
My grandma is 100% Puerto Rican.
Yes.
And my grandpa is partial. He's Cuban and Spanish.
Yes, dude.
And Puerto Rican.
I'm Puerto Rican everywhere.
Yeah, you're pro Puerto.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Puerto.
El Blanquito. So Puerto Ricans. So what happens is the gig, I get the gig from, they reach out to me to do the gig because my friend Emilio, who owns New York Comedy Club, we know and love Emilio. Shout out New York Comedy Club. If you're ever in the New York City area, go to New York Comedy Club.
Two locations.
Emilio gets in touch somehow. They get in touch somehow with Emilio because he books all these corporate gigs and he's great. And his brother works for Morgan Stanley and all these things. But they get in touch with him. Steve Cohen's wife, Puerto Rican, his children, has Puerto Rican children. First of all, Steve Cohen has about 8 kids. It's like he's Amish. But a couple of those children are Puerto Rican from his current wife, beautiful wife. So she allegedly liked my stand-up because I do all the stuff about Puerto Rican. Steve Cohen has no idea who I am.
Okay.
The birthday party, we were under the impression was going to be a family birthday party.
Okay.
So a family birthday party. So I'm going to go up, do comedy for the family. The wife knows, hun, this is I like this comic, blah, 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 blah.
You were bringing out Puerto Rican content.
I was literally like, all I'm going to do is my Puerto Rican jokes because that's what you got to make the wife happy life.
Right, sure.
She'll laugh at him, whatever. Steve will say, all right, this kid's in.
Yeah.
Okay. Get to the gig. It's 10 guys upstairs at a private. They rented out the entire restaurant. The terrace, the balcony of the restaurant is on Park Avenue in New York City traffic, honking away 6 p.m. I could hear the cars from downstairs, the wind rustling. New York City day. 10 guys. 10 billionaires sitting at a table getting served food, martinis, penguin meat, all the exotic stuff.
Sure.
They have no idea a comedy show is going to happen.
Oh, the worst. No one ever tells them a comic's coming.
Hey, we just added tickets. Providence, Rhode Island, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have opened them up. Go to chrisdcomedy.com. Those tickets were sold out forever, but we added seats, capacity. No more Chrissy half capacity. Now it's Chrissy full capacity. Go to chrisdcomedy.com. Providence, July 22nd to the 24th. And Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, August 18th to the 21st. Go to chrisdcomedy.com. That's TT Jerry's phone is ringing. He will be there, but he can't leave state lines. But once he's allowed to, he's going to start coming to my shows.
No one ever says the comic's coming on. That's
nothing. They have no idea it's about to happen. It's a surprise for Steve.
Okay.
I get up there. First of all,
what were you wearing? Did you wear a Met jersey?
No, I wore like a button down, like I tried to dress nice.
Like a button down Met shirt.
Yeah, yeah, I should have. Yeah, I wore a Darryl Strawberry jersey.
You want a curry favor?
Yeah. So I get there. I go to start the show. There's no microphone, no nothing. The guy, one of the friends, who's just like a fun guy, like everybody was fun. One of the guys, he doesn't know who I am. He goes, "Are you the comic?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "What's your name?" I go, "Chris Distefano." He goes, "I'll never remember that." So I go, "Great." So he's going to introduce me. So me and Amelia are like, "This is going to go bad."
Oh, Amelia's with you?
Yes, he's giving me martinis, which I told you I never had a martini.
Oh, you're drinking martinis before the show?
Before the show, because I never got
the
into
edge
martinis.
off.
And I said to Amelia, I said, "I've never drank a martini before." He said, "Trust me, you're going to love it. This is the drink of an adult."
Yeah.
So I start drinking the martinis. I'm like, "You're right." Now I can't stop with
just
the martinis.
straight alcohol.
I put on 4 pounds. I don't even, because I'm not factoring the martinis into my fitness now.
I don't see the 4.
I don't see them. So I'm doing, and then somebody asked me what kind of martini was it. I said I have no idea. It was dry, wet, neat, dirty. I don't know.
That's all different things, but sure.
I just got it, and it was great. So the guy, I think his name was Ted. He goes, "Yeah, I'll never remember your name." I say, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, we don't have a microphone." I go,
"Don't tell me." No.
I go, okay. I go, "Well, where's the show?" He goes, "At the front." I figure you just stand in front of the table. There's no stage, no light, no nothing. It's 6 o'clock. It's outside on a roof deck, so you could hear the New York City traffic. The waiters, waitresses don't even know there's a comedy show. They're serving dinner and serving drinks. I'm standing now.
They didn't get you a mic?
They come. The waiter says, they tell the staff, "Hey, can we get this guy a mic?" The owner comes up with the mic and goes, "Hey, we have a mic, but no PA system." So I said, "So what do you mean?" So just for your motion? Yeah, it was
just for physicality.
So he was like, "It's a mic, but we don't have time to echo it through the PA system, so we can just give you a dead mic." I said, "Okay, I'll take it."
You took it. You did stand up with a dead mic,
a cordless mic.
just because I was like, I
got
muscle memory.
I gotta have something. Yeah, I'm.
Yeah, what are you on Letterman?
Yeah.
I gotta do it without a mic.
I was like, what am I, Madonna? I got I just got the earpiece.
Yeah, Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So now I have a dead mic for these
How
billionaires.
funny is that?
Yeah.
So it's not amplified whatsoever.
Not
it's
whatsoever.
A prop.
Yeah, not whatsoever. So I was getting, good money. It's a corporate gig, whatever. Good money. Steve's a billionaire, very generous guy, great guy. I get up there. I literally go, "Hey guys," I go, "I'm the, Ted brings me up." I forgot to say, because he said, "I'll never remember that." Ted goes, "Hey," he goes, "Steve, we got a surprise for you. We got a comic." He goes, "You guys probably don't know who he is." He goes, "I forgot his name, but I heard he's funny." He goes, "All right, kid, come on." So I swear to God, I'm walking in out with the dead mic. I say, "Ted, what an introduction. I really appreciate it." I said, "You really know how to make a girl feel welcome." Right. Thinking, let's get a little laugh.
That didn't get a laugh?
Steve Cohen turns to me and goes, literally, I'm talking about Sal. I'm on stage for 8 seconds. He goes, "How long did they tell you to do?" I said 45 minutes. He goes, "No chance you're making 45 minutes." He goes, "I'll double whatever they're paying you right now to do 10 minutes. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Did
he mean it? Because that's an amazing deal. You take that deal.
I said to him, I said, "What is this, Christmas?" I said, "You're going to give me twice the money to do 10 minutes?" He said, "Absolutely." He goes, "We want to get back to the dinner." I swear to God, it was happy, but also I'm like, wow, I'm going to bomb. In that moment, I felt a bead of sweat traveling down my spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae until it puddled onto the top of my ass crack.
Yes.
A full
cold sweat. Just
bang.
Yes.
So then I start doing show. First joke, come out of the gate. I say, because it's a Bobby Bonilla joke. Bobby Bonilla has been being paid by.
You have a Bobby Bonilla joke?
I don't have a Bobby Bonilla joke.
I know. He's wasting their whole entire budget, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So he wasted.
They're still paying
They're
that
still
much.
getting paid. He hasn't been on the Mets for 25 years. I'm like, Steve, I just want to make sure I get the money. I said, I don't want a Bobby Bonilla deal. I want it all up front.
That had to kill.
Nothing. Zero. They're like, no. They're like, just looking at me. Okay. So then I say, Ted. I say, who do we got here? I said, who do we got here? Whatever. And then Steve goes, "Oh, this is Tommy Mottola." And I said, "Oh, I loved your cell phones as a kid." He goes, "That's Motorola." No, it's totally.
Right.
So then, ready? Then I try another joke. I forgot what I say. Bombs. The only laugh I get of the night exploded with laughter. This is about 7 minutes into the set. Oh, by the way, I'm literally in the middle of a bit. One of the bits that, because I was just doing old school ones. Like, the joke I have when I'm like, 3 years, one blowjob, when I'm like, I'm dating this girl. It's what I used to close on.
Christopher.
It's like a bit that I haven't done because I'm like, trying to work on the new stuff. And I'm like, I have no choice. I have to get out of this.
You're doing blowjob material at Steve Cohen's birthday?
Because it's 10 guys. Because in my opinion, it's for 10 guys, for 10 billionaires in their 50s and 60s, they either want to have Jerry Seinfeld Seinfeld come out,
Right.
or hookers.
Right.
One or the other.
Right,
It's like,
right.
it's not a 36-year-old guy that nobody knows doing comedy. The only person who knew I was there was Steve Cohen's son, who's also half Puerto Rican. He came up to me after the set. He goes, that was brutal. He goes, but I'm a big fan. Yeah. And then he said to me, I'll DM you tomorrow. You come sit in the suite with me and my dad in the Mets game. He'll love you if the guys aren't here. That gig was 10 days ago. No DMs.
No
from Steve
DM,
Cohen's
no
son.
DM.
I've been checking like a supermodel told me she was going to
Refresh.
000 from Steve Cohen's son. But great kid. Shout out Steve Cohen's son. Great.
Steve Cohen's son, if you're watching, and we know you are, hit him with the DM.
Hit him with the DM.
Get him up in that
Get him in
suite,
the DM.
please. Shout out suites.
So it became a thing where Steve Cohen started asking me questions. It became a podcast with me and Steve Cohen. Steve was like, where are you from? Told him where I'm from. Trying to do.
He's doing crowd work on you.
Steve Cohen was literally doing crowd work. Nobody's laughing. One guy said, oh yeah, our friend Bill down there, he lost 50 pounds from his recent divorce. He goes, you think, but what do you think he really lost to 50 pounds from? I was like, I don't know, cancer. And he was like, yeah, how'd you know? And I was like,
oh my God!
I swear to God,
No.
I swear to God. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like legitimately like, so sorry. I apologize. And then Steve goes, I'm just with you. Place explodes.
No!
I'm like, oh my God.
No.
Then
so he gets the biggest laugh.
No, the biggest laugh of the night is what I got off on, which was crowd work with Mottola. I didn't say anything, but Steve said that's enough. I go to Tommy Mottola. I said, oh, you're Mariah Carey's ex-husband. I said, you know what? I used to love Mariah Carey as a kid. He goes, I guess you also loved cock as a kid. Explodes.
No.
Explodes. Steve Cohen almost falls out of his seat. I say, thank you. Good night. I appreciate it. You've all been great. They start clapping it up. They gives me twice as much of the money. I sent an email with Emilio to the guy who put it all together the next morning. So we're so sorry, that was an impossible situation. You have to understand, Chris is excellent at these gigs, or this is his words, not mine. He said he is our guy for the corporate gigs because he can stick and move and do the crowd work. But it was impossible. The waiter and wait staff, they were bumping into him. Nobody was listening. It wasn't the right move. They write back.
No mic.
They write back. We don't know what you're talking about. Steve loved him.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, they go, Steve loved him.
Wow.
They go, we'll be hearing from us again. We'd like to book him on more parties. We loved him. I was like, what? What the hell?
Did you tell me someone threw something at you?
Oh, yes. So I literally, Tommy Mottola and I are, because dude, there were so many fucking things that happened during that night that I can't believe I forgot about that. And Emilio,
and you're martini tipsy.
I wish and pray that we could. It's one of those things where, like, it was one of those gigs where I bet you there's probably 10 things that I'm forgetting to tell you that Emilio could tell you, because I just literally, the things that were happening were like unbelievable.
Amazing.
So I'm doing the show. I'm doing, like whatever, maybe I did 15 minutes roughly, you know what I mean? But I'm literally, I don't know, maybe 6-7 minutes in, crab cakes come out. So the crab cakes come out. The crab cakes come out. One of the guys. So I'm doing.
I know it's coming.
Okay.
I know it's coming.
So crab cakes come out. So I'm doing bits. I'm doing the bits. I'm going into material when I used to be a physical therapist. I'm forgetting my material. I'm trying to do jokes about COVID. Everything's working. The crab cakes come out. They're eating the crab cakes. So one of the guys, a couple of guys down from Mottola, is cutting a piece of crab cake. Goes like, I'm in the middle of the bit. Because you have to understand another part of this gig. What you have to understand is I'm not on stage or anything. I'm standing at the table. My leg is touching the back of somebody's chair. Okay, so I am literally as if I was standing at a table, right across. The people across the table could touch me.
Yes, you have no presence.
Nothing.
You're lost in the crowd.
Nothing.
There's no respect. There's nothing amplifying your voice. You're just
Zero.
in there. Yeah.
I forgot what joke I did. It was probably like an in-the-moment crowd work bit, but something happened where I actually got a laugh, a relatively big laugh, as in the middle of the laugh, where in my head, I'm saying, thank God I finally got one. In slow motion, I see half of a crab cake with sauce on top of it land and hit me right in the chest.
Oh my
so
God.
now I have a crab cake stain all over my chest.
Someone threw a crab cake at you.
And then he goes, in the middle of the laughter. So I was thinking in my head, oh, maybe because of the boisterous laughter, thank God. go with the crab cake. The guy says, I'm so sorry. And then the guy 2 down goes, no, he's not. He meant to do it. Big laugh.
Wow.
So Steve Cohen then dips a napkin in ice water, gives me the napkin, and just wipes off my chest. It was one of those things where I was just like, what is happening?
Okay. Are you in your head being like, are you feeling the bomb feeling? Or are you feeling like this is so wild
Sal,
I don't care?
Let
Like,
me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When I got in,
you felt like a stomach.
when I got back into my car, I had to take off my button down because it was soaked. Yeah. Let me read.
Sweat is a sign of.
Yeah, hold on. Let me read the text because not that far back. Let me just because there's probably things.
Search crab cake. That'll get it because that's how I knew.
Yeah, hold on.
Because when you texted me that, I almost swerved off the road.
Okay. Here we go. He goes. I go. Sal, I can't even explain to you how hard I bombed tonight from Mets owner. You're right. Ha ha ha. No. Oh my God. Well, maybe you'll get a bit out of it. I can't wait to hear this. I'm so sorry, dude. I goes, it was insane. I'll tell you, tomorrow was wild, babe. He goes, how much time? I said 20 minutes, so not terrible. Somebody threw a crab cake at me. Then you send me. I go, somebody threw a crab cake at me. I get this voice. You send that right back. And then I go, ha, ha, ha. I go, I was at a restaurant in the city. I get the name, but whatever. I said, I go on there. We're all eating. Nobody knew there was a comedy show going on. It was so crazy. Tommy Mottola, Mariah Carey's ex-husband, was there. So I go, I love Mariah when I was a kid. He yells back, I guess you also loved cock as a kid. Place explodes in laughter for the first time in 20 minutes. Steve Cohen started yelling at the TV, which had the Mets game on, calling one of the relief pitchers a communist. Sal was so nuts. Emilio from MICC was there. It was insane. We were dying laughing in the street. He goes, I'm dying.
Oh, that's me saying I'm dying, right? I was dying.
Yeah, you go, I'm dying. And then he go, yeah, you go, I'm dying. Yeah. So that was it. And then I asked if you can get me new Reebok sneakers.
Yes. By the way, those are no problem. They're available.
Oh, really?
It's not even a hard thing. Yeah.
Oh, I can't even get them. They were all sold out on things. Speaking of sneakers, by the way, somebody made me a pair of sneakers, Mets sneakers, to give like a plug through my account, a plug to give the Mets sneakers to Steve Cohen. I go to give him the gift. He goes, I don't want them. You keep them.
No.
So I have now the Mets sneakers.
No.
Oh, I have the Mets sneakers the kid made at home.
Oh, God.
Maybe should we edit that part out? I feel like that kid doesn't know that he genuinely sent me.
No, you did your part.
Well, the kid sent me a message. He was like, "Thank you so much."
You can't help the fate of Steve.
He was like, I can't believe that the owner of the Mets is wearing a pair of my sneakers. I was like, yeah, he loved them, but he didn't.
Oh,
he gave them back.
You told him that he had
what am I gonna do? Tell him that he said give them back?
That's not on you. Tell him what Steve Cohen did. Let Steve Cohen deal with it. The fallout from it.
By the way,
Steve Cohen's been cashing checks for far too long.
I want to say, Steve Cohen, if you're listening or if your son's listening, I love you. That was that was honestly, you couldn't have been cooler. You were probably the coolest billionaire, probably the only billionaire.
I think I met Steve Cohen.
He was so cool, Sal. The situation I was in was it was impossible. I'm talking about
impossible. You corrected yourself from the correct way. You said impossible. Is that what you just said? Impossible.
Is it or in?
Impossible.
But is it pronounced impossible? Isn't it Mission Impossible?
Impossible.
In.
No,
Like in meaning not possible.
No, but it's impossible. Impossible.
Yeah, hit it again. I feel like it's right on the line of an N and an M.
But the letter that you're staring at is
That's
an M.
an M.
Yeah. You say impossible.
Is it an imposter or an imposter?
All
so there's
M's.
no in.
All M's, babe. Always has been, always will be. It's not an imposter, and it's not impossible.
Yeah,
but you said and then you went impossible. Like you were like, sorry, I almost said
But I had it right the first time.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you, kids? Trust your gut. Go. I read a study once. 90% of the time, your first thought is the right one.
Is that right?
I should have went with impossible,
90%.
and I changed to in. But now I'm back to im.
I think I met Steve Cohen. I think I have his business card.
He was the nicest guy.
Yeah.
He was the nicest guy. And listen, maybe this gig is way worse in my head. And Steve or Steve's son or anybody, if you're watching, got to understand things that happen in a comedian's mind in a gig like that. Maybe I make things way worse and it wasn't like that and all these things didn't happen the way you thought they happened. But you got to understand, in my head, and we've all been in the situation, I couldn't believe The gig was so bad, the owner of the restaurant watched the gig. When I got downstairs, he gave me his business card and told me to call him because he'd like to buy me a free dinner for what I just went through.
No.
Yes, me and my family a free dinner.
Oh, my God. Yeah. No, because you know what a good show's supposed to be like, or you know what a normal show is, or you know what your jokes normally get.
Yeah.
They have no basis of comparison.
Yeah.
So they might have had fun with you, making fun of you, knocking around like it, but they don't realize that to you, that was god-awful.
And by the way, I do, because the owners of that place are so nice, I do want to shout them out. It was called Ostreski's Patroon. Ostreski's Patroon. It's
you know, you
steakhouse.
wrote that to me in a text.
Yes.
And I was positive that something got auto-corrected.
No, it's called Oreski's Patroon or Ostreski's Patroon.
Yeah, what's a patroon? I thought you were trying to say saloon.
Yeah. Because that's what I said. I said, did you guys mean as Treski's platoon? Like I thought maybe they fought in like World War II. A patroon, person given land and granted certain manorial privileges under the former Dutch governments of New York and New Jersey. So it's a Dutch place.
Oh, like manor, like manorial? I don't know.
Patroon.
But what does that have to do with the rest?
Google Ostreski's Patroon. Just give it a shot. Ostreski's Patroon.
Him?
He kind of got very close.
Wow.
Aretsky's Patroon. Aretsky's Patroon, New York City, Midtown East. The food there was fantastic. If you guys are in the New York City area, go down to Aretsky's Patroon. Get the jumbo lump crab Louie.
It looks like they do a good. It looks like they're popular. They're well rated. But
yeah, no.
I gotta be honest. You know,
there's so many restaurants.
It's an odd choice. You know, I guess you know what. It's a very distinct name, but it's not appetizing or appealing in that way to me.
No.
Like, oh, you want a great food? You have to go to Aretsky's Patroon. Yeah, it's not gonna. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, there's a place. There was a place in I think Long Island that I used to go to after graduate school. And the food was great and the drinks were great, but it was called the Barefoot Peddler, and I was like, it's not appetizing for me to think about bare feet.
Enough is enough. That's a lot of syllables.
I don't like that.
You have to say that every time you want to visit someone. What would it take for you to say, I am not going to do any work anymore at all whatsoever?
Financially?
Yeah.
Like $15 million.
And then you would never work again for the rest of your life?
No. But can I like invest that money and use that money to make money?
Of course.
Then $15 million.
Yeah, but that's not a given.
But I mean, you buy a couple of Bitcoin.
That's surprisingly low to me in relation to like I'll never work again.
Well, what I think I would do is
you
I
would
pay
live
off
off
my
the
house.
interest. Yeah,
I pay the house off, so I'm just paying the taxes.
Very practical. You're going to stay in where you are.
I would live practically. I would, I'd go first class on a trip a year.
That's very conservative. I thought you were going to say like 100 million or something like that.
Maybe I should up it.
Because we're talking about billionaires, and I was like, $1 billion. I couldn't even wrap my head around spending. You know what I mean?
Maybe I'd say 75 million.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then you wouldn't even do stand up. You wouldn't do the podcast. You'd be like, it's permanent retirement right now.
Yeah, because you're right. If you gave me, might spend $15 million in 1 year.
You could, yeah. I mean,
I actually probably would go absolutely insane.
Right.
And I would spend it all on, wild things.
Yeah, like
I'd
what?
buy a helicopter. I don't even have a license.
Yeah, I don't think you could buy a helicopter with 15 million.
You need more.
Well, you probably could, but you'd be going through that 15 million pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
You have to start doing stand-up again after that.
I'd say 75.
75
what would it
million.
be for you? 100?
Number of billionaires in the world. Don't look. How many billionaires are there in the world? This is a shot in the dark if I've ever seen.
Billionaires.
Yeah.
3,000.
That's absolutely unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
What's the answer?
Did you almost guess the population of Antarctica?
2,755.
You are under 250. That's amazing that you guessed 3,000.
Because I figured it's rare, because if there's only 21 million Bitcoin ever going to be made,
Oh, is that number inclusive of the new wave of crypto billionaires? If there is any?
Let's see when it was.
Maybe there isn't. That's so many. The net worth of the 2,755 billionaires is $13 trillion. 493 people have been added to the list as of recent.
It is a little crazy. $1 trillion is such a huge number, followed by 12 zeros, that is 1,000 times a billion. As of today, there are no trillionaires.
Oh, there are no trillionaires. Okay.
Such extreme wealth we don't see in our lifetime. There probably will be a trillionaire at some point, right?
It's got. I mean, it's the way people are becoming billionaires now are by fake currency.
Fake currency.
It's going to happen.
Only 6 trillionaires have ever lived. Who's one? Genghis
Oh, so
Khan.
there just isn't a surviving trillionaire? Oh, in
$100 trillion, Genghis Khan's net worth because of the Mongol Empire. $100 trillion.
That's why he was a complete savage.
He had 100
At that point, there's nothing that could excite you except maiming and pillaging and
Jeff
slaughtering.
Bezos would be an absolute peasant compared to Genghis Khan. He would say, what are you, peasant bullshit?
Pure peasantry.
What are you? He was like, get this filth away from me.
Yeah.
To Jeff Bezos.
$400 billion.
$100 trillion. That means he could put all the billionaires' money combined. He'd still have way more money than
10
them.
times more than all the
10
billionaires.
times more.
10 times more than the 3,000 billionaires combined, Genghis Khan. And he slept on rocks.
Yeah, and he slept on rocks.
It's a shame.
Wore
It's
sandals.
a shame he didn't have like really like organic food back then. Great mattresses.
Yeah,
he didn't have any beautiful leather, like a nice leather upper.
He had nothing. Augustus Caesar, 4.6 trillion. Who's number 2? Zhao Zhu, 30 trillion. Wow, so even the trillionaires, if you put all the trillionaires together, Genghis Khan has the most money by any person in history, 100 trillion plus.
I never knew that. When I think of Genghis Khan, I don't think the richest person adjusted for inflation that ever lived on this planet.
And do you want to know what? Do you want to know?
And you know what else?
What?
He killed as many people.
Because that's the thing.
Did he?
If the media, and we as a society really wanted to stop the Asian hate, you'd bring back Genghis Khan.
You'd
bring back Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
Nobody's pushing around Asians if Genghis is out there on his horse with his crossbow.
That 100 trillion right now, though, that would go away. All his sponsors would be pulled. He would be canceled.
No, I'm saying Genghis Khan would be the
canceled.
He would stop the Asian hate.
Genghis canceled.
Because he's Asian. Who's going to mess with anybody Asian?
He would stop. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Yeah.
Well, but maybe I don't know.
This motherfucker. We got to bring him back.
Let's bring him back.
Who did he kill? Everybody, though.
Everybody.
Right? Yeah.
And they say you have like, if you're alive today, you have like a 1% chance or something of being somehow related to him.
Because he just pillaged.
I mean, he had sex with so many honeys.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was like the Wilt Chamberlain of BC.
Yes. Yeah. So we got
Jacob Fugger.
Who the fuck is this? Jacob Flagger.
Oh, for adjusted for translation for inflation.
Oh,
so Jacob Fugger is adjusted for inflation is richer than Rockefeller.
How come we've never heard of Jacob Fugger? Yeah, but Rockefeller
is the go-to like meme. Like what am I, Rockefeller? People don't go, what am I, Jacob Fugger of Lilly?
His name was Jacob Fugger the Rich. Well, I'm going now with Jacob Fugger.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, I'm fugging rich.
You just drop that on someone and walk away. They'll all just Google it and be like, oh, he's well learned.
Yeah, be like, yo, how much money does your husband have? He got Fugger money.
Yeah.
A major German merchant, mining entrepreneur, and banker. He was a descendant of the Fugger merchant family located in the free imperial city of Augsburg, where he was born and later also elevated through marriage to Granberger of Augsburg. Wow. I mean, this guy
Who's got to be on that list? Vanderbilt has to be on that list now.
Sure.
I thought he was
Carnegie.
I always thought the richest person in the world ever to exist was Vanderbilt.
And by the way, look at this. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos, the guys who are alive right now with the richest people in the world, are not even close to $1 trillion. They're 0.04, 0.34, and 0.16 respectively.
I will say, but back then, there was much less like if you own there were dynasties back then, right? So if you owned everything, you owned it.
Got it.
Like I think right now there's much more like in circulation than there was back then. You either were a complete peasant or you were the person that ruled.
Yeah,
right?
there was,
so it was
like
all
no middle
or
class
nothing.
kind of thing.
Yeah, but Rockefeller, richest American ever, is widely considered to be Rockefeller, worth about $400 billion. So can you look up Vanderbilt, who I also don't think was a good guy, or apparently
I would think most of these people aren't good guys.
Vanderbilt is buried here on Staten Island.
Really?
Yeah, the guy, I think.
Why? Well, because Staten Island used to be like, this was like primo. Staten Island's coming back.
It's coming back, babe. Big time. Babe, I ripped open a couple of bags of bare bottom clothing the other day. I got no less than 30 pieces of bare. Shout out to Bare Bottom Clothing. They also wrote me a handwritten note in there, and I really appreciate it. They're fans of the pod. Let me tell you something. I got joggers, pants, shorts, 7-inch, longer ones, bathing suits, hoodies,
Yes.
T-shirts. I was thrilled.
The pants I'm wearing right now,
They're
this
BBs.
second, bare bottom pants. Swear to God, love them. They sent me a care package too. They sent me a bunch of larges, but I'm actually an XL because I don't use my Fitness Pal anymore. And my girlfriend's transgender uncle, TT Jerry, took some of the larges that I was supposed to send back and cut them up and made crop tops and boom boom shorts with
He's
them.
nothing if he's not creative.
But he looks good in them. He's going to post pictures and tag Bare Bottom. And I want you guys, I'm telling you, the clothes is comfy. I love Bare Bottom. If you're looking for summer lightweight clothes, if you're looking to go back to go take a dip in the pool, the 7-inch shorts, because they got 5 inches, which
5
are
and
low.
the 7, which I like. You go show a little thigh, you show a little knee.
Little knee. I go knee because I have long testicles, so the 5-inch is a little lewd.
Okay.
But 7-inch, just make it.
That's nice. That's
But
nice.
what I want you to do is...
But you could wear them out. You dress them up. You dress them down.
Dress them up,
From
dress
the
them down.
couch to the gym and back and forth.
And all our listeners can get free shipping on their first order of the super comfortable threads at barebottomclothing.com with the code HeyBabe. Just go to barebottomclothing.com. That's BEAR, like the animal, bottomclothing.com. Use code HeyBabe. Get free shipping on your first order. That's all you got to do. Buy the clothes. You need clothes. We all love clothes. Bare Bottom Clothing is the I want to bareback you in Bare Bottom Clothing.
Babe, let's talk about Babbel.
You want to talk about Babbel?
I do. Really cool language learning app that I use on my phone on the fly, that they give these 15-minute lessons that are not just vocabulary.
No.
They are more conversational.
Yeah.
They're real world. You can apply them in the real world.
Yes.
And I've been brushing up on my Espanol.
Yeah.
But they have like 14 other languages. And it makes it fun. And if you're like me, if you have time on a commute or you go to work every day on a boat, a train, or a bus, Babbel is really cool. I think I recommend that. I want you guys to try it.
Babbel, it's speech recognition technology and helps you improve your pronunciation and accent, which is extremely important. I have been using Babbel for the past few months. I actually just recently, I haven't told you this, and it's big news that's coming out. Actually, what's today? Tomorrow it's coming out all over the news. I took a flight just recently, a couple of days ago. That's why I was MIA. I took a flight. I went to the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
I stood right in the middle of the Israel-Palestine conflict. I spoke to I spoke to the left. I spoke to the left in Hebrew to the Israelites. I spoke to the right in Palestinian to the Palestinians. I learned both those languages on Babbel. The conflict is resolved. You'll see that news tomorrow.
Wow, that's something else. Well, if
you want to solve world conflicts too and religious wars, then you go to...
Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you'll get an additional 3 months free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Go to Babbel.com. Use our promo code HeyBabe. That's BABBEL.com. Code HeyBabe for an extra 3 months free.
Shalom Allah.
America's first great tycoon, Cornelius Vanderbilt, passed away in 1877, leaving worth a fortune of $100 million, equivalent to $2.5 billion. Oh, that's nothing.
I mean, when you think about all this money that they have, like there was no reason for stimulus checks. The billion, they could have given a little bit of coin.
No, that's true.
They could have given a little bit of coin.
Right?
No reason that the government didn't have to. This wasn't on the government. Granted, I get if you had all that money, why would you spend it? But also it's like, in a way, I know, like not getting deep or anything, but in a way, I mean, there shouldn't be people that have $500 billion and also people that are poor. I mean, it's just ridiculous, but I don't know how to fix that.
I don't know either, but
we're going to figure this. We're going to figure it out on Hey Babe.
By the end of this episode, we'll solve it.
We'll solve it. World hunger, world peace.
Gates is very altruistic, though, right?
He is altruistic. They say he's altruistic. Did you see, by the way, speaking of money, Ronaldo pushed away the Coca-Cola can? Did you see that thing?
No.
So Ronaldo, the soccer player, one of the most famous soccer players in the world, most famous athletes in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo, hottie with the body from Portugal.
Yeah.
He was sitting down, about to do his press conference after the game.
He gets those eyebrows done twice a week.
Easily. There were 2 bottles of Coca-Cola that are sponsors that, whatever, and he takes them and puts them out of the camera frame and says, drink water. Because he's like, I don't want to promote something that's unhealthy like that. He's not a Coca-Cola sponsor, but he's like, drink agua, which is water in Spanish. He says, drink, I don't know if it's water in Portuguese, but it is water in Spanish. Drink water, and he's pushed it away, and Coca-Cola lost $4 billion worth of revenue. Their stock went down, but it went from like $260 billion to $256.
Crimea River.
Crimea River.
Crimea Syrupy River.
So it's very interesting, though, how, because there is a
How do they quantify that? It was a stock price that dropped.
That's what they say.
And they're attributing that solely to him pushing the Coca-Colas out of the way.
They say that that's the only thing it has
That's
to
like
be.
Musk now. They're like, I think like the anonymous people are going after him because he's toying with the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
Well, that got tricky because then Anonymous made a statement that wasn't us. But then how do you verify it's Anonymous?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, but that's interesting. That I don't think
Good for Ronaldo. Nothing against Coca-Cola and all the fine people and
No.
families that it employs, but it's true. We have an epidemic in this country.
I kind of think
I'm part
though,
of it.
I kind of samesies.
I don't drink soda, but
No, but
sugar
me-
is a poison.
I told you.
You got to call the hotline for your daughter on
the
if she drinks
poison control.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola's poison.
Sugar.
Well, I really do think, like on cigarettes, they have like Surgeon General warning this will cause
Yeah.
cancer. They should have that, start putting that on sodas and bad foods.
They
like,
should.
Because it's like, hey,
Heads
eat
up.
it, drink it, go do, but you should know that this is not good for
Know
you.
what you put in your body.
Yeah.
Sugar in moderation is not harmful, however many overdo it. Americans eat far too much
moderation
sugar.
is harmful.
75% of Americans eat excess amounts of sugar. 75%.
I would say I'm strongly in that 75%. Would you say you are?
Unquestionably.
I'm no doubt about it. I'm in that 75%.
Unquestionably.
Inquestionably.
Yes.
Now, is it imbecile or imbecile? So there's no in.
No, there's
It's-
I think you're also maybe like in. There's in.
Is it indigenous or indigenous? Incel.
Incel. Oh, it's not imcel?
It's not in. Okay.
In.
Okay.
In is a prefix that's used quite often.
Sure.
I think that you just
Indigenous.
Im also is
Indiana.
Right. Exactly. Wow.
India. Okay. Incomprehensible. Now, see, incomprehensible. Is it incomprehensible or im?
In. That's where you're getting it from. No, you're okay. By the way, you were sick last
I
time.
was this whole time.
You had rhinoceros, whatever.
the rhinovirus.
Rhinovirus.
The whole time on the show, I'm like, it's allergies. Meanwhile, I'm spreading the rhino all over.
All over.
I had the rhino.
Yeah.
I got a COVID test, and they said you're negative for COVID, but what you are positive for rhinovirus. I said I didn't ask you to test me for rhinovirus.
Yeah.
I'll go to my own doctor for the rhinovirus testing. I asked you to test me for COVID. And
That's correct.
negative, and you ended there. What, are you just going and testing my samples for the rhinovirus?
Just sneaking it in.
Yeah, I never felt like an animal.
What is a rhinovirus?
It's called because the rhino. This is the rhino cavity. Rhinoplasty. So this is. I think it's just a garden variety type virus in the rhino cavity. So they call it the rhinovirus.
All right.
So in closing, I want to just say Steve Cohen. I'm not a Mets fan, I'm a Yankees fan, but Steve Cohen was a very, very great guy. I appreciate the generosity he gave me, but that party was tough. It was literally, it was rough. It was a rough gig, but we've all had them. The life of a stand-up comic at times isn't glamorous, but I will say I am proud of myself for even getting through that, because I felt like that took like an experienced comic to try to even somehow make something out of that.
Without a doubt.
It was 10 guys. I'm not saying I killed. I'm not, no way, shape, or form. But
You're saying you bombed.
I'm saying I bombed. I'm saying exactly just the opposite. I'm saying to 10 guys eating steaks and drinking wines and having a good time do not necessarily want to be stopped by a cordless microphone that isn't on to do jokes about whatever material I'm talking about.
How did Steve Cohen's wife like it?
No wives were there. That's the problem. Is we thought that it was going to be a family party, and it was actually a surprise.
10 guys
It was
eating
guys'
dinner.
night out for Steve's birthday.
Also, that's another thing. Performing to 10 people is never.
Never.
You're never going to get what you need out of that.
Never.
It's like a conversation.
Yeah.
You had no mic. You were just standing at the top of their table talking to them while they ate steaks.
I literally, at one point, because one guy was kind of laughing cool. He was like a white guy from, I was calling him a human lacrosse stick, and he was liking that because that's what he looked like. And I was leaning on his shoulder like a mic stand. I said, "Can I just use you as a mic stand?" And he was like, "Absolutely." So I was leaning on his shoulder doing jokes like he was like, like when you lean on a stool or on a mic stand. It was just, that's what I was doing. So because I literally was, imagine you sitting down with, at a table, and I just come up at like when a waiter or waitress is at the front of the table taking orders. That's what I was doing jokes while they're trying to eat, and then they, and the guy closest to me, I was above him, so all he could do is listen. My body was he couldn't even turn around and look at me. I was over him.
What's the least amount of people you ever got on stage and did a set for?
the least amount of people one time.
I mean, not at a mic when it's just other comics, but like actual.
So I used to do this place. It's closed now. I started comedy at this place called the Laugh Lounge in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. You ever do the Laugh Lounge?
I did not. But
Okay.
yeah, a bunch of you guys.
You've heard of the Laugh Lounge.
Yeah.
So the Laugh Lounge, it closed. It was a great place. Now it's a taco place. But the Laugh Lounge, 151 Essex Street. I'll never forget the address because I was literally going there.
Yeah,
you know,
to
perform stand up. And it was the first club that ever put me in the room. And they used to quite often, because they weren't ever sure if they were going to have a show on Monday or Tuesday. It depends if like people showed up. So I was there doing the open mic at 5:30, and the show was starting at 7:30, and all of a sudden they had people. So she said to me, the owner, whose name is Delilah, like my daughter's name, she said to me, hey, can you go on stage, start the show? The first comic, I believe it was Jonathan Randall, lives a few blocks away. I just called him. He's on his way. So I said, sure. So I go on. There's 5 people, all of them from Sweden. There's 5 people on stage, all of them from Sweden. Literally, I'm on stage for about 10 minutes. 4 of the people pay the check and leave. There's one. I swear to God, there's one person.
You're already in the set.
I'm already in the set. I have no. They left because they were just like, it's not for us.
Yeah.
I performed for this one guy from Sweden for probably about another 20 to 30 minutes before Jonathan Randall got there. Obviously not laughing. He's politely laughing, whatever.
Right.
And I don't even think to ask this. Jonathan Randall gets on stage, takes the mic, goes, give it up for Chris. The one guy claps. Jonathan, the first question, he goes, do you speak English? And the guy goes,
no.
yeah, he goes, English?
Amazing.
And he goes, no. I didn't even think to ask that. I was doing jokes. I mean, highbrow jokes about specifically the G train in Manhattan on the subway system. I mean, this guy doesn't speak a lick of English. But then when Randall got on, a family came down, or a group of people came down who did speak English from America and sat into the show. But that was the longest,
One person didn't speak English.
One person for about 4 people. Initially started with 5, went down to 1.
Did I ever say the time I was in Florida with the guys who were playing the Hard Rock in whatever, Fort Lauderdale, whatever, Florida, wherever that is. And during the show, in the back of the room, the cops come in and arrest someone during the show.
Wow.
It was way in the back, but we heard a commotion.
Right.
We figured there was a fight. No. People were fucking.
Wow.
During the show, in their seats.
Having
in
sex.
the Hard Rock Theater venue. Came in, arrested him, walked him out. After the show, we go back. We go, what happened back there? A fight or whatever? You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. 2 people were having sex in their seat. Someone called the cops on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You believe that? Florida.
Florida. That's what happens. Speaking of having sex in the back of the Hard Rock Cafe in Florida, Steven Seagal has defected from the United States, given up citizenship, and now is a member of the pro-Kremlin Russian party and has fully denounced U.S. citizenship and now fully lives as a Russian citizen.
That can't be true.
Look at it. Hollywood actor Steven Seagal, longtime admirer of Russian President Vladimir Putin, has joined a pro-Kremlin party.
I thought he was like a...
No, dude, he's in Russian politics.
Wasn't he the exact opposite of that? Wasn't he like a sheriff down south?
Yeah. Well, we thought he was.
He's a Russian citizen since 2016.
Imagine he's been working for the Russian government as a spy this entire time. The whole plan was to make him a superstar movie star. Because everyone has always said, his movies aren't, his movies are fun to watch, but, no one is like, oh, he's the greatest actor of all time.
Well, he had a little, like a 3 or 4 movie run that was, popular, but then the rest were all,
yikes.
He kept doing them, but I don't think they fell out of
didn't catch
favor.
on.
But isn't he known, and I guess I'm never going to cross his path, right? Because he's a Russian citizen now.
He's a Russian citizen.
Who lives over there, so maybe I won't get Seagal. Because Seagal, I will tell you this, as old as, he's a unique looking fellow.
Very unique.
Odd looking duck, no?
Odd looking duck.
He's got that widow's peak.
Yeah. He's only 69. I thought he was older.
Here's the thing. As he gets older, he doesn't get less scary. He's like Tyson in that way.
Right.
I always fear Seagal, but I'm wondering at 69 if Seagal squared up again. Not that I can't fight and I'm not a tough person, but there's got to be a tipping point. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah. There's got to be a tipping point, though.
You do get mad, though. I've seen you get mad.
Have you?
Well, not mad, but you told me a story once about how you got...
We've all woken up with a little bit of hair on our pillow.
All of us have woken up with a little bit of hair on our pillow and said, oh, my God.
Pump the brakes.
What's going on?
How do I keep what I have?
Do you pump for hair loss?
Say again now?
Remember the bumper sticker thing you were saying? Do you pump for...
brake.
Do you brake for hair loss? Sorry.
Yeah, but brake for hair loss means you like hair loss. We don't.
That's
why
like
you want to get keeps.
Yeah.
Here's some stats that are sobering. 2 out of 3 men will experience a form of hair loss before 35.
Wow.
50 million men in the U.S. suffer from male pattern baldness, and there are only 2 FDA-approved medications that can prevent it. Keeps offers both.
It's a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair. It's low cost. Listen to this. Treatments are only $10 a month, and they Keeps offers generic treatments are only $10 a month, and they offer you all the generic versions. They have more 5-star reviews than any of their competitors. Any single one of their competitors. Prevention is key. Treatments can take 4 to 6 months to see results. So act fast, you balding pieces of shit.
That's right. If you're ready to take action now, you sons of bitches, to prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/heybabe. Don't be a piece of shit. You receive your first month treatment for free. That's keeps.com/heybabe to get your first month free. keeps.com/heybabe. Canva Pro is a new sponsor.
What is Canva Pro, though? What is it?
I think Pimp, this is in your wheelhouse because it's an online graphic design tool.
So
is that what it is?
Yeah, I use this all the time. You pretty much pay them their fee, and you get access to stock photos and templates for your business card or your flyer, or even stock video you can use in an edit like I have for Hey Babe.
Oh,
wow.
cool.
Okay, so Canva Pro is used on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. So there you
Canva
go.
Pro, yeah, has everything you need in one place, including a collection of over 75 million premium photos, videos, audios, and graphics. That's cool because whenever you're looking for anything, images, B-roll, this, that, the other, you're always like, are these royalty free? Are they not? Do I have the rights to
Canva
these?
Pro's there.
That's cool.
Well,
That's
I got to
cool.
tell you, I mean, I can't tell you how many messages I get. I'm sure you get the same, Sal, about how much they love the edits and the graphics on Hey Babe, and that's all Pimp using Canva Pro.
That's all
So,
Pimp. We get that all the time. People love the editing and love what Pimp does. We're seeing a lot of people starting to do that now.
So do they have a deal for us? Do they have a deal? Canva Pro for our listeners?
But it's actually, I'll point out because I'm reading it here, and I'd love to try it too, because it's not just for people at Pimp's level. It's no matter what level you're at, it says, right?
Yep.
So anybody who wants it, it's kind of easy to use. I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay, so you don't have to have autism to know how to do this.
You don't have what?
No, you'll be all right.
It just takes the one subscription. Design like a pro with Canva Pro. Right now, you get a free 45-day extended trial when you use our promo code. Just go to Canva. That's canva.me/heybabe. Canva.me/heybabe to get a free 45-day extended trial. canva.me/heybabe. Canva.me/heybabe.
Canva.me/heybabe. Canva.me/heybabe. Canva.me/heybabe. You just cut it out. Canva.me/heybabe.
all right, great.
What I'm saying is, push comes to shove, you'll fight. You will fight. Push comes to shove. You're a very nice, pleasant guy, but you're not a pussy, is what I'll say.
Sure, I'll try to protect myself if worse comes to
100%.
shove. Yeah, I think you were talking about that time that someone like accosted me and I got mad. Is that what it was on the streets?
You told me about it. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, but I'm not a fighter. But I think there's got to be a tipping point, even with Seagal, where like I could take him. Like, you ever think about this? Sometimes I think about if I go back in time, like there's a time where I was better at basketball than LeBron James. It's a fact.
There has to be.
Until he came into his own at like 8, I could have slaughtered LeBron James.
Because you're a couple years older than him.
So LeBron James is born what, like 83 or something?
Me and LeBron James are the same age.
So
we have very different lives.
In 1989, I would LeBron James up in a game of
Destroy it.
one-on-one or vice versa, or anything like that. And I'm not even that great at basketball. I'm not even good at it.
Sorry.
No problem.
James Madden calling me.
Oh, I thought it was
No.
birth control.
No,
right.
birth control, but let's say birth control.
But you know what I'm saying? I could just tee off on LeBron and vice versa now.
Right.
There's going to be a point where I could really take Seagal out if I need to.
Yes. And it's not yet, but when he's in his mid-80s.
But he's still scary though.
Still scary. And his face got very big.
His
It's
face
like steroids
it covers a lot of surface area.
Yeah.
You know what else? You know what gets me? It's every movie he had that maneuver where he just would break the arm the other way.
Yes.
Or break the knee the reverse
looks
way.
so painful.
It looks painful. He does it with gusto and he does it swiftly and effectively. And I know that's a movie, but I feel like he's got that in him. No matter what. So even if I throw something at him, he might be able to just snap my arm the other way.
No. Listen, the actors, Mark Wahlberg, Ryan Reynolds, the action stars who do all those sequences, yes, there are times where stunt doubles come in and do it, but they have learned how to fight from being in the movies. Like, yes, there's a showmanship of being in movies, but they know how to fight now. Ryan Reynolds will beat the shit out of you just from Deadpool.
He would beat the shit out of me without Deadpool. But when they go through this training, then it's for sure.
But a lot of them are small. Like Tom Hardy's a small guy.
I
But
heard
if he
that.
gets you on the floor, you're done. But
I
he's a
know.
small guy. Now listen, when he's
Yeah, but he's got to train for all his boxing.
that's what I'm
moves.
saying. Bane and the boxing
Yeah,
moves. I mean,
yeah.
he'd still hurt you. But I'm just saying, like they're small guy. Like
Yeah.
you know.
Like Al Pacino.
Yeah, he's a small guy.
He's a small guy.
He's small.
Tom
guy.
Cruise, I heard too.
Small, very
I
tiny
mean, small meaning probably my height. I'm 5'10". I'm not like.
Steven Seagal broke Sean Connery's wrist while filming Never Say Never Again. Broke his wrist.
Wow. First question: what is Never Say Never Again? A Bond
I would
movie?
say 95% of Steven Seagal movies, most people have never seen. What is a Steven
No, but
Seagal movie?
that's a famous Bond movie, no? So was Seagal in this before he was Seagal? Was he like?
This was 1983. Was Seagal famous in 1983?
Hell no, no.
When did Seagal get famous?
Like late 80s, right?
I don't know.
Above the Law, I think it was.
Above the Law. So Above the Law was Seagal's first. So that means Steven Seagal, if he's 69 years old now, he only got famous in his late 30s.
How is he cranking out 2 movies a year now from Russia? And
I
it's
don't
the
know.
same movie over and over and over.
Yeah.
Not 25. Above the
Above
Law,
the Law is
88.
1988 was his number one. That was the first movie.
Alpha Justice. See, yeah, he put it together a real string where he was like the go-to action guy.
Right. 88. So Seagal was about 30. He was my age. Seagal. So if I'm going to make it in the movies as Steven Seagal, I need to start right now.
You need to.
If I'm the next Steven Seagal, I need to start immediately because I'm going to be 37 in 2 months.
He has a movie out last year though. At 68, he's still doing 69. He's still doing.
Now he sings songs. He collaborated with Stevie Wonder for his debut album.
No, he did not. That's
If
bullshit.
he starts a
I swear to
podcast, I'm
God,
done.
Is Stevie Wonder collaborated with Steven Seagal? I would be shocked. That can't be true. It can't be true.
It's
him
he
playing a
collaborated
guitar.
with Stevie Wonder for his debut album.
Come on, I want to hear the song.
Steven Seagal used to have a house on Staten Island.
He did. He
How
absolutely
crazy
did.
is that?
Is he still married to Kelly LeBrock?
Let's see. Steven
Kelly
Seagal.
LeBrock was a siren.
Siren. My religion
This is
strange.
Steven Seagal and Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Put it forward a little bit. I want to hear Stevie Wonder's
what would you
vocals.
categorize this music as? Adult contemporary?
Elevator.
Elevator.
Yeah,
Waiting
but
room.
no disrespect to Stevie, but
No
what
disrespect
is?
to Steven.
Who is this for?
Our moms.
The confluence of Seagal's fans and Stevie Wonder's fans? That's some crowd.
That's a crowd.
I would love to see this live.
I almost want to make it a point to see it live.
Yeah.
Would you go to Moscow to see Steven Seagal?
I would book passage tonight.
Have you been to Russia?
No.
I mean, we got to go to Antarctica, Russia.
Yeah. I would go.
You been to Australia?
Yes.
Great.
I was there for like a month.
Why?
And I'm supposed to go back and film again.
You were there in Australia for a month?
Yes.
Doing Jokers?
No. We were supposed to go there and film. I went on vacation.
You went on vacation to Australia for
I
a month?
I thought I would never see it, right? Because I won't take that flight. And I said, if I ever go and I take that flight, it was 3 weeks. I was
Right.
like, I'm going to go substantially and see a lot of parts of it because I may never go back.
Right.
And so I when we were on hiatus, I cleared it and I went.
You went around the whole country?
I went for three full weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
It was, I loved it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You went from Melbourne to Sydney and all around.
I did
New
Melbourne.
Zealand? You hit New Zealand?
I didn't, but I will next time.
Right.
I will if I go back. Even maybe Tasmania.
Nice.
Tanzania?
How many years
Tasmania.
ago did you hit Australia?
It was like 2-3 years ago.
So 2-3 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually. It was maybe 2 years ago. It was during the fires, which
Wow,
was
you were
10.
there for that.
I did not encounter them, save for when I went to Sydney. We were getting the winds, and in Sydney, there was literally you could smell the wildfire throughout the city. They were giving masks out at the hotel.
Wow, so you got
Wild.
used to the mask way before the pandemic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly
Wow.
right. Yeah, who
Wow.
would have known? Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. Amazing. Okay. Oh, we got to get to Australia. Steven Seagal got sued for driving a tank and killing a dog. It happens. Yeah, I would. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what can you do?
Teamed up with the sheriff.
I mean, broke Sean Connery's wrist. He's killing dogs with a tank. Is Steven Seagal a good guy? Email heybabepodcast@gmail.com. Is Hey Babe Podcast? Is that what it is? Yep. Hey Babe Podcast.
Drove a tank.
HeyBabePod@gmail.com.
Drove a tank into a house belonging to a man suspected of being part of a cockfighting ring.
So you know what? He actually-
What a sentence.
Okay. So actually, I take that back. Good guy. He's trying to break up the cockfight ring, and unfortunately, the spoils of war. Sometimes what happens is you kill a dog.
Kill a dog. He's lived a fruitful life.
Yeah.
Can you tell me if he's still married to Kelly LeBrock?
Yeah. All of this from a home on Staten Island.
You've seen, you know, Kelly LeBrock. You've seen Weird Science. You know, she
No.
was like the L'Oreal. She was a supermodel back in the, I guess, 80s, 90s.
They divorced in '96.
Oh, it's been a while then.
So he's
okay.
married. He's current. He's got 4 wives. He had Adrienne LaRussa from 1984 to 1984. So that was a quickie. Miyako Fujitani, 1974 to 87. Then in 87 to 96, Kelly LeBrock. And then most recently, Erendentuya Seagal, who he's still married to in 2009.
Let me tell you something. I never really get those marriages like 1984 to 1984.
It was a quickie.
I know, but like that's really bad judgment, right? Because, I mean, you can't make it work longer than like you're committing. You're saying till death do you part, and then piecing out in under 12 months.
I'm one of my friends. I went to a friend's wedding. At the wedding, we were all saying there is no chance they're going to last. Sal, I shit you not. They went on their honeymoon for whatever 2 weeks. When go to the wedding. The wedding was in Mexico. Honeymoon 2 weeks. Get a group text from the guy. Hey guys, we decided to call it off in the honeymoon, so we're gonna get a divorce. But I appreciate you being there. I know it was short. It was a mistake. So they literally, I know a couple that were married for 2 weeks, called it off.
Did you
no cheating, no nothing. Just realized at the honeymoon it wasn't right. They were dating for 6-7 years.
Are you kidding me?
Honeymoon done.
Do
Now
you
they're
think-
fully divorced.
Do you think they knew beforehand that they were on the outs and they had the wedding just for the gifts?
For the party, I think so.
Do you think so? You had another wedding that you went to where you told me this on maybe on this podcast. The bride didn't show.
Well, that was when I was working, but that wasn't a friend of mine. I was working as a bartender on a cruise ship.
Okay, yes.
The bartender, the guy, they didn't show up.
That's wild. While there are countless divorce studies with conflicting statistics, the data points to 2 periods during a marriage when divorce are most common. Years 1 to 2 and 5 to 8.
Interesting. 3 and 4, you're relatively safe.
Of those 2 high-risk periods, there are 2 years in particular that stand out as the most common years in divorce, years 7 and 8. Wow. Years 7 and 8 is when the most marriages fail. What do you think happens in that stride of 7 and 8 years?
I think it's 7 and 8. You're probably like really settling into the person. It really starts to dawn on you, like, wow, this is going to be my whole life. And you start to maybe nitpick at things you like that you don't like about them around year 7 or 8.
Substantial enough to have a body of a relationship behind you and saying, "Hey, we've tried this for a while now."
Better.
Right.
It ain't getting better with you, babe. And then you go, and also maybe at year 7 and 8, maybe the kids that you've had are a little bit more grown.
And then you're like, we wanted to get out of this earlier, but not with the
but
kids.
You can't leave a newborn.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Hit it.
Nearly 80% of divorced people get remarried. 6% of people even remarry the same spouse. As you age, prospects of remarrying do not decrease. In fact, the remarriage rate for those over 55 has increased in recent years.
Wow.
Increased.
Damn.
Yeah. I've never been married, but, I don't know. I'm not against it. But because, like, I had my daughter first without marrying her, and, I kind of feel like, we're connected. So why do we got to go put it on paper? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If we didn't have the kid first, I'd say we're connected now because of the ring, and then we got the kid, and blah, blah,
well,
blah.
nothing bonds you more than a shared child.
That's
so
what I'm
it
saying.
almost seems like that was the ultimate, and this is the penultimate.
Yeah, so, and obviously, my girlfriend gets pissed, but it's just like, hey, like, that's how, I'm like, that's the way I think about it, but I'm not saying never with the marriage. I'm just saying right now.
Well, now you're going to share two children.
Yeah.
You're in each other's lives.
What?
You live together.
We got a house.
What is that called when you, common law, like, what is it
it's
like?
Common law, which doesn't exist in New York. Common law, they got rid of it.
When? Who?
Common law's out.
Who did that?
Google common law in New York. Done. Out. It's out. Who knows?
Common law
Giuliani?
means you live together long enough where they're just like, you're married. You're married.
Yeah. Common law marriage does not allow common law marriages regardless of how long a couple's been living together. However, in states that permit common law marriage, if the marriage is recognized as a valid common law marriage in that state, then New York State will honor that marriage in New York.
So does that mean you have all the fixings and trimmings and accoutrements of a regular marriage, but without any of the hassle, stress, paperwork, or party?
Yes.
So how long is I would strive for that. Because then you're achieving the same result, but you're not spending all this money, making people take off from work, come to your wedding. You're not signing all the paperwork. The the government is automatically involved. Or can you renounce common law? Is common law just assumed, or is it like if you say you are, you are? But what if me and my spouse live together for 20 years in a common law state, and they say you're common law, and I'm like, no, we ain't, and like, no, you're common law.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
If
So
you
you
say
have
you're
to
not.
you have to opt in or out.
Yeah, because you have to go to court to file a domestic partnership.
Oh, so you still have to do paperwork to take advantage of the common law marriage.
I would imagine.
So you just don't have to. Well, how's that any different than going and just signing the paperwork to be married?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand it.
I haven't understood anything.
If I want to, if I want to marry someone, we go down, we get a marriage license, a witness comes, city hall, they stamp it, you're married.
You're married.
So if
Because
I
the
have to
wedding
go,
is just for you. That doesn't mean anything in the
It's
eyes of
just
the
for
law.
you.
You got the marriage certificate happens. Nobody's at the marriage
no.
certificate place.
So if you have to do all that to get regular married, but then common law marriage, you go down and sign paperwork too. What's the difference?
There is no difference.
Please, someone. Marriage is a legal union between two people that requires a license and a ceremony in most states. The ceremony, though, is BS. It happens at the city hall. You don't need a reception. But in a handful of states, if you and your partner have been living together and behaving as if you were married, so what, just like fighting every day?
Yeah.
You may have what's known as a common law marriage. It's not automatic. There are rules you must follow.
But my question to you is okay, so we're together. So let's say I'm with a woman 20 years, not in the state of New York. So we're common law marriage doesn't exist, but technically we're like kind of common law. If and the kids are older, so no more child support, obviously you always pay for the kids. I don't have to give alimony. And she doesn't have to give me alimony if she makes more money because we're common law married. It's
Are
common.
you telling me that, or is that wishful
No, I'm
thinking?
asking you.
I don't understand it.
I mean, I do what was
Let me
right.
ask you a question. If you get common law married, right, and then people go, "This is your wife." Do you give the caveat every time? It's common law.
Yeah, I would say. We're
not thrilled with each other.
I would say, hey, nice to meet you guys. This is Jasmine, my common wife.
What is common law marriage? A concept that has been around since the 1800s.
Wow.
Oh, so that's relevant. The idea allows couples to be legally married without the formality of a ceremony, witness, and marriage license.
So
I don't understand.
So I could go to I could say I'm common law married to anybody.
Yeah.
There's no rules. I'm common law married to you. Say, no, you're not. I'm like, well, I am.
So if we were roommates, because now gay marriage is legal. So if we were roommates in a common law state for like 10 years, we could just be like, common law hus.
Common law hus. That's it.
You could do it?
Yeah.
What is the tax implications?
What about common law marriage? Can I get your insurance benefits if I don't have insurance?
This is all someone. Oh, if you're a listener that is common law married, please tell us all the rules in the comments.
HeyBabePod@gmail.com for your common law questions and answers.
That's
HeyBabePod@gmail.com.
Common law married.
Because here's what I'll say about marriage is I think in a way now, because I get getting married, years ago, you didn't meet anybody outside your village. It was good for legal reasons and tax reasons. But now, now you get married. It's like, all right, you really love the person. Great.
Tax purposes. Genius. I'm going to get married.
You going to do it?
Yeah. To my girlfriend now. We're definitely getting married.
Do it.
Yeah, we are.
100%.
Yeah.
I would do it.
I think you two should get married at a live show.
We could.
On the Patreon.
Why not?
We could. I almost married Luis Gomez and Dave Smith one time, but Dave wouldn't agree to it.
Why wouldn't he agree to it?
He just thought it would be hassle.
Got it.
Hassle. But Luis had such a funny. He's like, anywhere we go, he goes, we'll annul it immediately. But then for life, anywhere we go, we could be like, oh, my ex-husband just got here.
It is pretty.
That was really funny, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I the thing is with marriage, I don't know. Now, she's going to hear this and I'm, what's one more fight?
You're really acting like common law married people.
That's what it is. What's the difference? At this point, we've been common laws for so long. We've been common law married for so long. It's whatever.
Yeah.
The old bag.
I want to.
Don't people say that about their wife, the old bag?
I think they say my old lady.
Old lady.
Or the old ball and chain.
The old ball.
Which I guess is not too.
I mean,
that's not too great.
Flattering.
Ball and chain, no. Old lady, I thought it was like an endearing thing. My old lady, maybe you've been with her a long time.
Right.
My old fella, my old lady. But my old bag, you called it?
I guess that was
I don't
probably
know if
no good.
that seems pejorative.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say it like
Derog.
that. My old lady. I think my old lady originated from Scottish, as in me old lady, which was a way of saying my love to the special lady of your life, or a way of showing acknowledgement and respect to an older lady in your life. But I mean, still, calling, even in Scottish times, calling your wife or girlfriend who's very young and beautiful my old ladies can't feel great.
Yeah.
I don't think women like to be called, hey, this is my old lady. Right? I mean, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah. I never really take that one as an insult, though. I always take it as like a cutesy thing.
Old bag. That one I got to get rid of. Old bag was...
You got to stop referring to it as my old bag.
Maybe that's why we...
Sounds like your nutsack.
Yeah. My old bag. Okay, broad.
Broad is not good.
Not good. Derived from the forfeit of a
I don't
meal
think people
ticket.
know when they say it, but I think broad is definitely derogatory.
It signifies a female provider for a pimp.
So, really? I thought it was
great.
something else. A female companion of woman of loose morals?
Got it.
Broad is derived from the far-fetched metaphor of a meal ticket.
Okay.
Signifying a female provider for a pimp from the fanciful correspondence of a meal ticket to a railroad or other ticket. But still, where does the word broad come from? Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought then. Well, it's terrible for a pimp.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah. I don't know what you heard about pimp. If we ever do a live show, you got to come out to that.
Yeah.
Speaking of broad, you know who's very broadly known?
Who?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Very broadly known. And you know what just happened to him?
He won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
God bless that man. 43 years of age. Oldest person in the NFL.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers in his home stadium in Tampa Bay, never been done before, won't probably ever be done again. Beat Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Shout out. Good, great game, kid.
Mahomes has a big career ahead of him.
He really does have a big career.
Shout out to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Good organization.
Dude, Patrick Mahomes, unbelievable guy. Oh my God, dude. And you know what? Actually, is Andrew Santino, friend of the show, Andrew Santino.
Doesn't he know Mahomes? Or
he knows Mahomes. He knows Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes came to his comedy show, I believe in Dallas, came to his comedy show. Santino told me, dude, the stuff about Mahomes, this has been, hey, babe.
Don't be a fake, don't be a flake, don't run away from your feelings, babe. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed, don't hesitate to say, hey, babe.